once I finish, how do I go about it? Am I going to be reading and hoeing and like so how do we now encourage our people? Security is there.
Thank you very much. It's a very good question because now we have a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
Especially in Nigeria, not only in Nigeria, across the continent. For example, in Nigeria, we have the issue of security.
Yeah.
People have their farms, but they want to go, but they are afraid because on their way they can be kidnapped. In their way they can be faced with wolves. On their way they can be faced with people who just want to take their whatever. And so everybody's scared. Yeah, I think we must do a sensitization or enlightenment. This is what you're having now. First have the house, the land first. And you cannot go far. Let's have a nearby place where you can easily get to. In the morning you see some hens that you put somewhere and they are laying eggs. You take the egg, you keep somewhere. And then you have tomato, pepper and all of that at the back that you are put there in the pot and all of that. There must be good enlightenment. There is a need for that. We are talking about it now. Some may be listening to us and they use that idea. So I think we need to encourage more enlightenment amongst not only the rural household now, at even the urban center. So that through the media we tell them, we write about it, we talk about it. That is one. Another one is for us to encourage youth participation, for our youth to participate. You see, unfortunately, most of our youth, when they go outside the country, they do what they don't want to do in Nigeria. Many of them, they can go and work on the farm. And in that farm, the only difference is that there is light and all of that, regular electricity and all of that, but they still do the same thing. So I think that the need for us to encourage our youth, because if you want food security to be enhanced in this country, there is a need to encourage our youth to participate actively. Agric is a profession that one should be proud of. You don't need to be dirty to do agriculture now. By the time you put all these things at the back, put in the pot, put it neatly, wash your hand. You want to spray, you have the sprayer. Either you use the tube or you use the one you can use your hand to spray.
The problem is that people want fast money.
That's what I'm saying. For example, you have your borehole. There was a place in Lagos that we went to enlighten some women in Ojo. Ojo in Lagos. That Ojo, we have a lot of people who live in the barrack, the wives of some military men. So you taught them how to do that. A lot of them, they plant bitter leaf, and you see, some of them on bitter leaf load the bitter leaf in a truck, and they make as much as 250,000 in a month as profit. And all they do, they have the bitter leaf somewhere, only bitter leaf. And they also have their customers already. And then during dry season, they use the washboards or they use the sprayer to spray. So it is growing from time to time. Yeah, and they have the marketers who will just come, take it, they take their money. Now we even have app where you can transfer. You don't need to carry money to a job market to do anything, So I think that's one. Encourage people to be involved in this. And now we have some modern equipment that we use. Like you talked about this fertilizer now, organic fertilizer. The organic fertilizer is what we are going back to. In the olden days, you want to get from cow dung and all of that. You need to spread around this area. So enlightenment in one, I would say. Encouragement of youth to participate in agriculture for food security is another one. The use of modern equipment too. Like in the place where we went to in Ikeriku, there are some equipment that women will not be able to carry. If you are sensitive about the appropriate technology that we need to use, that the women they may not be able to carry, maybe where you are grating cassava before it gets to that, it goes from peeling to all of those things. And if those equipment from peeling to grating, from grating to jacking, if those equipment are light enough for women to carry, through technology, that will not be a problem. Now we even have AI now, which is making things easy. Just and look at it. And then climate change is another problem. We can tell them, give them strategies as to solve this problem of climate change. For example, now we are having rains, but sometimes there will not be rain. So when it is about to rain, we should encourage them to prepare their farmland. So instead of going to a far place as they go to their farms, they can choose to do their farming not too far away. So that's the issue of they will kidnap you on the way. You know, but there are places where there is not, and then you can do about it. You know, especially they have to sell in the market in large quantity. So we should look at strategies that will help to solve this problem. Encourage modern equipment, the use of modern equipment. You know, maybe the government can also assist if it's available. You know, people can pay in kind, not in cash. And so that if you give farmers too much money, and sometimes they may increase the number of their wives instead of helping to do. So we can give farmers those things in kind. You know, they want to use tractor, they can go to the local government to, just like the government is doing now. They want to use any equipment that is modern equipment. The government can make it available. They want the seedlings, the inputs. They can go there without paying much. You know, they can go there to get it and plant, and then they get a lot of money from it. Then I think extension agents too we need in Nigeria. We have very few extension agents. You know, the extension agents are meant to disseminate new ideas to farmers. But now the ratio that we have, the ratio of extension agents to the population we have, nothing to write home about. So I think the government should also supply more extension agents that will be able to educate many people to be to farm. Or if they don't understand what to do, they can always ask. You know, we can also encourage the use of mobile app. Not too long ago, I worked with Bill and Gates Foundation, and the Bill and Gates Foundation is trying to Nigerians now, is trying to sell the use of digital extension outfits. That is, you can use your phone, you can use, you know, I can contact my farmer on the field without going to the place. I can ask them questions through the use of app, and then we now interpret. For example, the message is coming from the faculty department of Agric Extension and right below to the farmer. The farmer has a problem, he's now calling on the experts without the expert being there. And then now
illiterate farmers.
Illiterate, that's what I'm saying.
The
now,
illiterate.
Yes, interpretation. Now, you know, it's just like you go for conferences and all of that. They can interpret to you without being in a French country. Now, that message will go to the farmer, and it must have been interpreted depending on the group, ethnic group of the farmer. Can be translated into your Hausa language, or it can be translated to Yoruba, Igbo, and that's why even now with AI, this can happen. So if you have such packages that the farmers they don't need to be educated to even know how to use them. It's a point that will help to enhance production. So I've talked about use of improved equipment, encouragement of youth, because they have ideas, they are very energetic, they can do, you know, and they encourage them to go to school, you know, be encouraged to come to agriculture. Probably those who want to come to university too, maybe can be given some scholarship. You know, maybe you have a rebate on those coming for agriculture. Probably we have more people that will be interested.
Now let's look at the future of agriculture in Nigeria generally, but specifically, I want us to look at Niger Delta. You know, their lands destroyed by oil, things like that. So if we have such areas, and we are talking about food security, that means in those areas they will not be able to go into farming. So how do we now, what do we do to ensure that, you know, the issue of food security that we are talking about if people don't go to farming, if they don't plant, if you don't do this, there's likely to be famine, you know, especially with the issue of insecurity that we have now. A lot of people are not going to the farms again. So for those specific places, you know, the Niger Delta areas, and especially the Benue side, where they are being troubled by herders, things like. So how do we now ensure that we break even? You know, we're able to make sure that these people get food to eat, you know, things like that. I don't know if I'm communicating.
Yes, I understand what you see, there was a time we had a problem with HIV and AIDS, and I know that at that time too, people from Benue They were affected because of many of them being promiscuous.
Yeah.
And one of the ways by which that problem was solved at that time was enlightenment. You get to Benue, you get those young guys, and those are used to just going to be having sex with anyone. And then, of course, once you are contacted with HIV, there's no way, maybe when you die eventually, what happens to... And they normally grow a lot of yam, contributing so much to the economy of the country. So, for example, now I think we need more enlightenment too. The government should also encourage more security, you know, in those rural areas. Not only in the rural areas, even in urban areas now, we have it, you know, even in Ibadan, that is a urban center. You know, we have cases of people being kidnapped, you know, and all of that. So I think the first thing is the government should come to the aid and provide adequate security in such places. Two, the government can also help to give money in kind. You know, you want to sell, or you want to plant something on your farm, you go to the government, maybe you go to the local government, you know, and then you take it, you sign, you take all of those that will relieve the farmers. And then we should do more of enlightenment, like we are saying now, because you cannot say if the only thing I have to do is to farm, and I have to go to farm, then you can begin to look at other strategies, maybe at the back of the house, like I said, or look for a nearby place where you can have your farm, you can easily go there, trek and come back, people can see. And where we have large farms and it's a little far, the government can help to provide more security at all levels. Local level, local government level, state level, and the federal level. And if they are put in place, I believe, with God's prayer, God's hands in it, God will spare our land, you know. And if you all have access to food, you have access to farm, you're able to, what are you going to be stealing for? I'll give you an example. There was a time some people went to, a particular in Israel, and they went on pilgrimage. And of course, you know that everybody will be there, including Nigerians and Malawians and all of that. And you see people packing fruits, keeping in their rooms. By the time it's 2-3 days, those things begin to get rotten. But you see, those that have been used to it, they go there, take what they can take for the day, and go back. You understand? So if we have such in like in Nigeria, where you just take what is enough for you, I think things will also improve. So I think we need more enlightenment on our part to educate ourselves and for us to be satisfied with what we have. And if possible, share. We have a lot of people that are philanthropists too, that are helping now. You go to the villages, those who have small farms and they don't have enough money, the government can look for a way of giving them some things in kind now. Yeah, so that it's not just only money, so that you will not be tempted to spend all the money. I think with that, participation of youth, government involvement, education by extensionists on different things to grow at different times. You know, the problem we also have is infrastructure. You go to many villages now, there are, except for Ibadan, let me say Oyo State, or a few other states. Here you go and then you go and the road to the place will be okay. Because if I am a farmer and I'm planting so much, not only for myself, for subsistence, I still want to sell. I have to take to Bodija, I have to take to what's money here and all of that. And you have to go inside some villages. You may not be able to go there because the roads are bad. If the roads are not bad, another issue is fuel supply, petrol. And if I know that I have to buy petrol at 1,300 and whatever liter per liter, so and I will carry my truck, of course at the end of the day. So I think if the government also can give like a subsidy that will help farmers or encourage farmers to plant, that would be good. Then, you know, there can be some charts that will be given farmers where you can read the weather. You don't have to be educated to do that. You don't have to, like some gadgets that we use even as experts. If I want to ask questions from this guy that is waiting at the camera side, and I'm in my office, I'm in UI, and I want to ask him questions, I can ask that question through Kobo Collect. He sends it to me, I analyze in my office, and I get it. You know, there are some also gadgets that we use in UI that you want to do and do questions. Now the question where you are, The questioner is taking the picture of the person you are interviewing, is answering, and is taking the GPS of that place where that person is. And if you want to take the picture, you can also take the picture. And AI is also doing a lot too at this time to also help to make things easy for people. So I would say that with encouragement from the government, with our own encouragement too, when you don't want to die, you want to eat, you don't want those children we have at home also not to be able to have enough to eat, we can achieve it.
But then all in all, we need encouragement from the government, because even the farmers cannot do it. You mentioned the issue of infrastructure now. When the roads are bad, how will he or she be able to transport the goods to the city for sales? Or
you get to the city, when you get to the city, the goods are spoiled already. So we can create things to preserve.
Like farmers face a lot of challenges.
A lot of challenges, a lot. Storage facilities are not there, you know. There was a time we had a project that has to do with farmers, you know, watering cows in Bodija market here. Food safety, and discover that when you have the cows have been killed, they've been slaughtered and all that, you want to, and you cannot sell them, you cannot sell everything today. You have to preserve it the second day. Preservation is another problem. No lights. You know, this epileptic way that we have light today, tomorrow you are not sure, and all of that. So there are problems that I think the government can also help to solve. Because if the associations that we have in the marketplace, they have all of these gadgets we are talking about, you are sure that whatever is, even if you have leftover. Not too long ago, we had this agbalumo. Then we now have mango. Then we have all of this in season. But once you get to the market, you see a lot of tomatoes scattered here and there because they are spoiled, because there's no place to store. So storage problem is another one. So I think the government can have it like a, you know, we have in the community where we have storage like we have in other countries, where you can easily pack all the stuff there. You have the key to go to the place. You pay a little to be able to do that. It will also help to enhance food security.
All right. Now, let me quickly ask. I know you said you have 4 gentlemen, boys. Do any one of them take after you? Maybe like following your footsteps?
Yeah, they're trying their best. Of course, you know that in education, you don't force children to do what you do. It's better for you when you see a good gift in a child, you encourage that child to be what God has made that child to be. I have some of them as singers, and they are good in IT. You know, them are good in AI, they are engineers, and they are on their own. You know, while at the same time, the issue of farming is important, because I tell them, look at the back of your houses, wherever you are, anywhere, whether you're in Nigeria or anywhere, you can still make use of it to enhance all of these things. So though they may not be agriculturists, but those that are engineers amongst them, those that are doctors, they do their work well based on what their passion is. Like I told you that when my father came to me, I wanted to be, and when I became an agriculturalist, that was my choice. And today, no regrets.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, let me quickly ask, because I know our time is fast spent. If you are made either the commissioner for Agric, because Agric is your area.
Yes.
Or a minister of Agric. What are you going to do better than what is being done now?
Yeah, the first thing I'm going to do is to ensure that I encourage youth participation. Youth participation. You see, as I know that there's little you can do. But when the youth buy into agriculture, they are energetic, they have ability to take risk, they want to do, you know, once they are convinced. So I will encourage you to participate, and we will encourage them either in cash and kind. Those going to school, either from primary, secondary, or whatever it is, if you're a youth and you must have passion for agriculture, because that's the source of our livelihood. If you're a doctor or engineer, if there is no food, you cannot survive. So that's the first thing I will do. And then I will try to enhance enlightenment program on food security. like we are talking about it now, maybe from time to time, talk about how they can do different things, if it is vegetable, different kinds of farming they can participate in, encourage farmers to, you know. Some of them may not have the courage of coming to the local government to ask this, but once they are listening to, like I told you about tomato, preservation of tomato puree. I have taught them how to do tomato paste, mango paste, mango drink, tomato drink, different drinks at different seasons, and then you pack them. So encouraging them and teaching enlightenment on the media will also help to solve the problem. Then I will also encourage the farmer and the government to employ more agricultural extensionists. If you go to like Okiogun area, you know Okiogun area is the full basket of Oyo State. And you get there and you see that the vegetation is okay and all of that. So if you have something to encourage them to participate, you give them when you are, they supervise them, they see. We have a lot of food that we can even take to different countries. Not only for us, more than enough for your state, for Nigerians. So I will also encourage that from time to time, allow them to talk, listen to the youth, then try to convince them, let them see the practical exam, just like I think our governor is doing now, and then they can see it. You can make tomato powder. Not even tomato paste. I think in
tomato powder.
In where is this place? Near Oyo. I think the government has done something. The people from different places, they go and they do, all these companies make tomato powder, not tomato paste. So you can keep that one on your own without all of those. We can encourage our youth to do that and encourage them to go to school to learn. There are those that are farmers too, that are illiterate. You can encourage them to continue. The fact that they cannot read and write does not mean that they are not educated. You say those that cannot read and write. If I call a farmer and I say, Baba, how do you get to this place? Let's say we want to do something in your village here. Can you tell me the map of this area? The Baba will say, oh, I don't know. You say, I don't know. Okay, Baba, stay there. You know, sand is on the floor. Then I say, Baba, if you are coming from Oyo and you are coming to Ibadan, how do you want to go? They tell me how. I say, you tell you what you want. They say, okay, Baba, put it here. Put it there. Okay, Baba, okay, in this your village, what are the crops that are mostly grown? The Baba will say, don't worry. When you are coming, didn't you see some palm tree along the side? The kind of palm tree is around this place. Hey, oh, good, Baba. Just put the palm tree, then you put it around the place. Then, Baba, how many secondary schools do you have in this secondary school? We had one in 1960. Another in 1960. Making how many? Two. Oh, yeah, Baba. Around there, by Meiji. Then you put it there. Before you know it, Baba has put the community map there for you. You don't need to. You can be in England and be knowing that, okay, when you are coming to Oyo town, these are things you will see. But the person who told you is an illiterate. So you think they are illiterate, but they are very intelligent. And whatever you tell them stays. So if you have more of these extensionists too, it will help. In Okiogun now, I don't think we can cover the number of extensions we have now cannot cover the whole of Okiogun because Okiogun is so big, so vast, and people are farming there. So if you have more people to go there to inspect or to tell them what to do, when they want to ask questions, they ask. They are doing it now, but I'm saying that if we have more. You know, that will also help to enhance food security. Then when we don't use those colonies and holes ago, we don't limit it. I was in a place in the UK, and my sister that I went to see, I went to the back of her house, her apartment, and I saw some green grass. I said, well, you can plant vegetable. He said, vegetable. I said, I have some seeds here. Let's plant it there. And you know, I planted that vegetable seeds. Before I left there, the thing had already started growing. It's in the UK. So not to talk of Nigeria, where God has blessed us so much with very good land and vegetation. So they need to know. We need to also tell them about climate change. It may have rain sometimes, and there may be a dry spell. What do you do? All of this we have to enhance security.
Thank you. And finally, how do you unwind? I know you're a busy woman, you know, here and there, delivering papers and so on. So how do you unwind?
Thank you very much. Like I told you before we started that recently I was given a fellow of award, and they invited us all to Nairobi for our award certificate. And that time, because we had to be there for 1 week.
Okay.
Of course, you cannot say, I want to go and sign. Of course, whether you like it or not, you have to rest. And aside from that, when I know that I've worked for some time, I go with my husband, we go on holidays. Few days you come back. So that we go see the children, and then you come back again, you are more refreshed. You know, when I came back from where I was doing the fellow, I was refreshed. And you see, as if you want to still do more work, strength comes there.
Yeah.
So then as a Christian, I go to church, enjoy I sing. I love to sing. I've been in the midst of young people, like I told you, and I feel comfortable serving my God. And then fulfilling my desire and goal in life.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ma. It's been a wonderful time with you. I really appreciate you for everything you have shared with us today. And I know that you are living a life of impact, impacting the young ones. And I'm sure that our viewers out there too should know that it's good to live a life of impact those around you positively, so that at the end of the day, you too will be happy that you have fulfilled that part of your life. So I want to thank you very much, Professor Stella Odebode. It's been wonderful having you on the program.
Thank you so much.
I've enjoyed every bit of it.
Thank you,
and I'm sure when next we invite you, you definitely respond to our invitation.
Definitely.
All right, man. Thank you so much, man. And to our viewer there, I want to thank you very much for being part of the program Viewpoint for today. Don't forget to join us for a fresh edition of the program next week. Until then, bye for now.